As we start to look forward to the future, where the Cleveland Browns are going, we know the team that's maybe got the lock on the AFC for the next foreseeable future. Want to cut into that just a little bit. Do you have that fear? Do you have that fear that you are going to be going up against the mountain that is Patrick Mahomes for the next decade? Is that something the Browns are going to have to do? Be the best, you got to beat the best. That is what the case is for Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. More Super Bowl reaction. Cavs, yeah, it happens, right? Sometimes don't take an opponent fully, but I did very much appreciate what Donovan Mitchell had to say last night. We'll hear from D. Mitch on that coming up. We got our bracket. We're going to need your help on this, folks. It is the best Seinfeld episode. A little bit out of the way for Ryan and I, so we tried to put it out. People, sat on the seating and the ones we put in or not. We got that coming up. We got Fat Tuesday, which not every Tuesday for us on that. That's fine. It's the morning update. We got time up. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Happy Fat Tuesday.
Happy Fat Tuesday, man.
Ryan, you're like, oh, the
normal Tuesday.
Yeah. You know how to say it, right?
What?
What does everybody go get today?
Poochkis?
Poonchkis. But
Poonchkis?
Close enough, yeah.
Poon?
That's what I say. Poonchkis.
Oh, that's not what I know poon as.
All right, stop.
Listen, if you ban me from talking about Lisa Ann, I got to talk about something.
I'm just talking about a cream-filled donut, Ryan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
stop that. Stop that.
It ain't a donut.
Yeah, we know. Poonchki Day out there. I already have the order. I got to say. Did you see there were people in line at 3 a.m. this morning over there?
Well, I don't think they're that good. What's the fast food?
What?
Like they're the
They're like, oh, they're
ones, right?
Well, I like the cream-filled, to be honest with you. So stop it.
You big cream pie guy?
Yeah, they have the place I'm going. I don't want to say where I'm going because, like, was it Rudy's Bakery or Rudy's Strudel or whatever it is over there in Parma? There were people in line at 3 a.m. this morning to go get their poonchkis because they open at 5. The place I'm going to, I don't want to tell you because if you show up, you're going to get it, and then I'm going to run out, and then I'm going to have to go home empty-handed, and my wife will go, sorry, they were out. I don't know what to tell you. It's a big day. Big day. I will say, yes, they are no different than a jelly-filled donut, but the fact that it's Fat Tuesday, you got to get one. You have to have one.
So when's Mardi Gras?
Today. Is it not on Fat Tuesday?
Oh, Fat Tuesday is like a synonym for Mardi Gras?
I thought so.
I'm not Mardi Gras educated.
I do. Okay, I hate to say this to you. Actually, I don't really care. You could never pay me enough money to go to New Orleans. There's no world. And I've never been there.
Isn't it the Super Bowl next year?
It's where the Super Bowl is next year. Yeah. All right, fine. If the Browns go, I'll go to New Orleans. I'll make that sacrifice. I've had people that have gone to New Orleans, and they said, I don't know whose idea it was to build a city below sea level. It's a bad idea. So Mardi Gras today. Yeah. Yeah. So enjoy. I don't find the fascination with that, but it is Fat Tuesday. Everybody in line to get their poonchkis. We got our 2 for Tuesday. We'll get to that coming up as well. And again, we're going to need your help on this Seinfeld thing because we're doing the bracket this week of the greatest Seinfeld episode.
I really don't want to get jumped, man.
Okay, the problem is that there's more than 16. So I am not a Seinfeld expert. Ryan is not a Seinfeld expert.
You know who is?
Who?
Chico.
We'll call him. Where's Chico?
He loves Seinfeld.
What the hell? Get him in here. Can we call him? Can he do a video? Text him. Can he do a video in the hour too?
I don't know. I could see.
If he's available. Because, like, a lot of the brackets that we do, you and I have working knowledge. Mm-hmm. This is one I know maybe 5 episodes, right?
Yeah, me as well.
And I think they're the same 5 episodes. Shrinkage, Soup Nazi, The Bet. I wanted to put Man Hands in there. I guess that didn't get a lot of run. And I did force one in there because I think that's one of the funniest episodes is when Kramer goes for a test drive on a car and he starts running all his errands and then he gets the sales guy in the car to see how far they could go. That and then the one where Newman has the scheme to go take the cans to Michigan to cash them in for money. But I don't like, so the other thing is the verbiage, right? Because if we said the Shrinkage episode, people referred that as the Hamptons episode. This is also funny that Kramer got busted for illegal crab fishing or lobster fishing or whatever. Remember
right.
that? Yeah. So I've worked, like, we don't have a high level of working knowledge. So we're going to need the Seinfeld experts out there. And again, maybe Chico is it.
Yeah, I think he is.
might have to text him. I know he's busy this morning, but like, we might need to have Chico in here.
Yeah, we need some
Because
Seinfeld savant.
Here's what I need. I just need Chico to look at our bracket and go, okay, I'd move this here.
Yeah.
I would put this one out.
I think we got the 1 seeds pretty good.
I think the 1 seeds, and I would say the culmination of the episodes are pretty good. Do you have it? Do you want to pull it up?
I have it up. Yeah,
Do you want to show it to everybody? Let's do it right now. If you're watching on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube, good morning. Happy to.
I don't want to get yelled at, Matt.
Here's the 16. So I'm glad. I don't want you to get yelled at either by anybody but me. So we have it up. Tell us what we need to fix. This is not set in stone. This is a working document as you look at it here, okay? So if there's one that you see that's just egregious, move it on out. The thing about me is I want to avoid, like, I wouldn't put Soup Nazi and the Hamptons in the same bracket.
Right.
Because they're so powerful, we need to separate them out here a little bit. But we're working with just that 16.
I think it's a good field.
I think it's solid. I mean, that's the work that we did this morning. So let us know if you saw that. Tweet it at us this morning like, dude, this one, you got to change this one. You got to move this one. We'll figure that out. We are open to moving the bracket around. So maybe we'll get Chico on an hour or two to fix that up. Because, again, I'm like you. I don't want to get and I want this to be a legitimate poll.
Yeah.
Unlike the underrated band one that we did. But that's another story for another day. I want this one to be as legit as possible. So we'll see how that goes. Well, speaking of legit as possible, that is the Kansas City Chiefs. They win it. They're already the favorites to go win it again next year. We discussed this a little bit yesterday about, the conundrum that the Browns are now entering a time where you expect to be uber successful and you have what seems to be the next version of Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And there's not that the Patriots went every single year, but they went more often than not. And it's so hard for me to watch and look at the rest of the AFC and not, I guess concerned is the answer a little bit, Ryan, because it is going to be so hard. It is going to be so hard to even make it to a Super Bowl. If everything goes as a lot of teams expect it to go, dude, making the playoffs is going to be so hard. You're talking about Joe Burrow coming back. You still have Buffalo. You still have Miami. If they get Trevor Lawrence right down there in Jacksonville, Jim Harbaugh gets the Chargers right. I don't assume the Chiefs are going anywhere. Baltimore is still a juggernaut. We got to talk Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. Keep him the hell away from Pittsburgh, please.
I told you, Matt, I've been speaking things into existence lately.
You have.
And I'm sorry that I did that.
Well, I got another landing spot for Justin Fields because I got a mock. I love mock drafts, and we'll get to it because it's a 3-round mock. So I want to tell you some of the positions that the Browns take in Chad Ryder of NFL.com. I actually don't like Chad's mock for the Browns, but he's got a really important trade that has to do with the Cleveland Browns. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit later. But I survey the landscape, and I go, damn, And I know that the comeback has got to be, for me, dude, you got to be more positive on the Browns. You have got to believe that the Browns belong, right? And everything that they did this year, you had Defensive Player of the Year, you had the Coach of the Year, you had Jim Schwartz, you had all that, right? I need to start believing that the Browns are in the thick of that they are in the thick of this fight to even make the playoffs. And we are so far removed. And like anything, as the year starts, there's going to be favorites that fall. But I just see these dominoes and I go, dude, this is so stacked. And I think the issue, I don't see the Chiefs going anywhere. The scary thing about really every team in the AFC except the Kansas City Chiefs is this. They are powerful. And now they believe. And now they're buying into this dynasty talk. And they feel like they are invincible. Do you feel the same? It's a 2 for Tuesday here on Fat Tuesday. Enjoy your Punchkis. 2 questions, 2 answers, as always. Number 1, as a Browns fan, do you fear that the Kansas City Chiefs will have the lock on the AFC for the next 10 years? Or more, or whatever.
Damn, 10.
He's only 28.
I know.
He's only 28. And that's the essence of the question. It's just yes or no, because as much as everybody, when you see a star, right, it's hard for us to ever imagine somebody else doing it, right? When there was Jordan, nobody ever thought he'd get, okay, well, here comes LeBron. And as you watch LeBron play, okay, there'll be never another LeBron. There might be one day. Tom Brady. You said never in a million years will you ever see another version of Tom Brady. And then all of a sudden you get a guy that you go, oh, God, okay, wait a minute here. And there's a case that could be made that the parallels of their career to this point, what Patrick Mahomes has done has been more impressive, right?
Can I do 5 years? Because then Andy Reid will be 70.
He's coming back, he says. You can do whatever you want. You're on the polls.
Like I'm saying in 5 years, he'll be 70.
Well, and I think 5 years kind of syncs up with the Browns' run here, right? Like the Browns, you feel like this is their run for the 5 years. And the thing about the Chiefs that I'm really concerned about is I don't think it matters who they bring in or who they lose. You know, they had to turn that roster over. They got rid of Tyreek Hill. The thing is that it's Patrick Mahomes. And it's like I'm propping him up to be some sort of god. Well, my fear is, Ryan, that he might actually be some sort of football god.
Well, here's the thing, Matt. With the guy like Patrick Mahomes, there's no doubt, like one of the most talented players we've seen, arguably, right, since Tom Brady. He's on that trajectory. But like it goes so well for them because you're pairing Patrick Mahomes with an organization that has succeeded in multiple realms, right? Like they trade away their all-pro receiver. They do. They turn that into Rashee Rice and Trent McDuffie and some other guys, right? Like they are just so good even with their moves off the field. So you pair that with a talent like Patrick Mahomes, and it's just a success to be the next dynasty like the Patriots were with Tom Brady and with Belichick and with Robert Kraft, letting Belichick do what he wants, the best football mind in his time. So it's a combination of the two that make, that's kind of the equation for a dynasty.
And the thing is, you mentioned Belichick versus Andy Reid, where Andy Reid's a little further down the road on this, right? Like when Belichick started there, he was still in his 50s. You know, Andy Reid, he's coming back this year, which is great. But I think I think I'm prisoner of the moment here watching that game, and I go, I don't think there's anything Patrick Mahomes can't do. Like, just playing the rope-a-dope for this season, going, we'll just kind of suck a little bit or relatively suck, and then just come in the playoffs and no one will beat us. No one will beat us, which is crazy because I wanted to get this a little bit later. Now it's as good as time as any. I have ESPN. They went around to all their NFL Nation reporters, and shout out to Jake Trotter. He's the best. He covers the Browns. And they did their first edition of the NFL Power Rankings for 2024. So I want to preface it by saying this. This is like right now, today, going into this upcoming season, who do you think the best team in football is, Ryan? This is how ESPN did it. The best team, again, too early. Free agency hasn't even started. We're not even to the combine yet. Yeah. The draft, all of this can get shook up. We're talking about right now. You're talking about who's on your team. You got your coaching staff, all that. The best team for this season coming up. Who do you think it is?
Probably the 49ers.
No.
So it's not the Chiefs?
It's not the Chiefs either.
It's not the 49ers, the Chiefs? Really? Well, then, like, who?
Who do you think?
Who do
you think? Who's the team that it was just everybody was saying, oh, man, watch out for these guys. They're a good team. They got one of the best players in football.
Like the Ravens?
The Ravens.
See, like that's...
So, and then they also do their offseason in 3 words. This is what they write. Busy, busy, busy. So you want to talk about this with the Ravens? Ryan, they have 25 unrestricted free agents. 25. Matt Abuke, Patrick Queen, Kevin Zeitler. And, of course, the Baltimore Ravens do not have a lot of salary cap to keep everybody. Number 1 for the Ravens. Number 2, Kansas City. Their offseason, could they lose Chris Jones? Number 3, San Francisco. Detroit, number 4. Number 5, Buffalo. Miami is 6. And again, this is the power rankings entering this season.
Yeah, see, you can take what that will because I'll tell you right now, the Browns are a better football team than the Dolphins.
Number 7, Dallas, with Mike Zimmer as their new defensive coordinator.
Browns are a better team than Dallas.
The Philadelphia Eagles
Browns are a better
8.
team than the Eagles.
The Houston Texans
Browns are a better
9.
team than the Houston Texans.
The Green Bay Packers are 10. The Cleveland Browns are number 11.
See, that's like
number 11 in the future power rankings.
As people that watch the Browns and talk about them daily, I think we can agree that people The Browns are better than like these teams. The results might have not shown it with a couple of the games, but like player-wise and coaching-wise, they stack up better than the Eagles. They stack up better than the Dolphins. Like, and there's no doubt in my mind about that.
Let me. Do you want to know the common denominator that jumped out to me? Ryan's laughing because we have an audience this morning. There are people. So we're in the Burke Lakefront Airport, which we love, and there is the International Women's Space and Air and Space Museum, and it's free. If you're looking for something to do with your kids, bring them on now. Some cool exhibits. Business has picked up over the last couple of weeks for the Air and Space Museum, which is weird. So we've had a lot of people just somewhere around like 9 o'clock, like 9:15. They just come walking through. They go, "Who are these idiots in here talking about sport?" That'd be us. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. We're getting a picture taken right now.
I just love when like they don't just watch; they like put their eyes up to the window.
I feel we should put a speaker out
there.
there.
And it's just funny because right now we're not looking at them, so they don't know that we're talking about them.
I think they can hear out there, can they not?
No, they can't.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think you got to be pretty.
I always like doing it for the audience. I mean, we have an audience of people watching us at home or listening, but today we have an in-person audience. That guy stopped to take a picture. Hi, how's it going? Hey, good to see you. Thank you. Yeah. And sports, big right there, big play. Drop us a follow. Thank you. Start a follow or drive in person here. Sorry, we digress. Do you want to know the common denominator that I saw for the first 11 teams that the Browns are at 11? They all have a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? They all have a franchise quarterback. So the offseason for the Browns, in 3 words from Jake Trotter, get Watson right. Jake writes, once again, everything will come back to Deshaun Watson, who has played only 11 games. Next season, Watson's cap number alone is $64 million. 64. Now, I know they'll restructure and they'll swift to the pen there and it'll be done. That's still out. It's coming off surgery. Cleveland's future outlook ultimately hinges on whether Watson can become the elite quarterback he showed in 2020. He's had a few flashes, notably leading that second half comeback against Baltimore. Otherwise, sobering, he statistically has been among the league's most inefficient passers since being traded. That's from Jake Trotter. So you're right. 11, I feel like that's a shot. Here's another reason why I take an issue, right? Like, I go up through some of these teams and where they're at. Okay, so the Packers, they need to go find a defensive coordinator. Okay, sure, fine. Houston, they need to overturn the roster. They have 30 free agents this season. Philadelphia, they have a bunch of guys that are old. Dallas, okay, they're pretty solid. Miami, impending extensions for Tua, for all these other teams. Buffalo. The thing that I look at for all of these other teams, Ryan, that we have, stability. We know who's coming back. And that's why I think the Browns at 11, if you played a game tomorrow of the players that are under contract, we're beating most of those teams. Again, the Ravens have 27 unrestricted free agents. Houston has 30. What are the Chiefs going to be without Chris Jones? Like, all these other teams are scrambling because their roster is in flux. I sit here, I need a wide receiver. I'd like another pass rusher. But Ryan, if you told me that free agency in the draft just didn't exist, right? And the guys that you have under contract, I have free agency would have to exist because I have these other guys leaving the teams that they're on. But you have just the teams that you're under contract for. Browns are stacked. They're better than 11. They're better than 11.
Absolutely. It's not even close.
It's relative, right? Because I get it. I understand that these teams, like...
Well, give me, like, Matt, and I know you're not maybe agreeing with this, you personally, but, like, for somebody, like, give me a reason why you think that the Dolphins are a better team than the Browns. Give me a reason why... But, like, what I would, like, let me know.
Offense. They have one of the most dynamic offenses, one of the biggest stable of offensive weapons in the league. Now, you could come back and say, what was the team that maybe had the most? 49ers. Did they win on Sunday? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And you can't, the NFL, the turnover is so crazy. Do you really think that Miami's going to have Raheem Mostert run for 20 touchdowns again next year? Like, it's not that easy to roll it back over again. And I was a bit of a Tua detractor. I didn't think he was going to be all that good. Mike McDaniel's in a big spot this year. You want Sean McDermott of this season of having some pressure? Go ahead and put that on down the coast there and put it to Mike McDaniel down there in Miami. Everything is on him right now for this upcoming season. So, yeah, I mean, it's relative because you've seen more from Tua than you have Deshaun Watson. But they're down there at 11. I thought that was pretty interesting. You want to know who would you pick as the worst team entering the season this upcoming season? Don't think too hard.
Yeah,
They're the worst team this year.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers. I was going to say that.
Washington is 31. The Patriots are 30, which I think is a little low for them. Arizona 29. Tennessee is 28. Would you like the other AFC teams?
Sure.
So again, Baltimore is at 1, which is a little crazy to me. The Cincinnati Bengals come in at 13.
Wow.
Their offseason is make receiver decisions. They'll tag T. Higgins.
Yeah,
That's fine. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Did you say the Jaguars yet?
No. Pittsburgh is 18. 18 for Pittsburgh. Their offseason, find a quarterback. We'll talk about that in just a second. You want Jacksonville, you said?
Yeah, what are they?
14.
But that goes to show you how
14.
fast things change in the NFL.
Sure. Let's talk quarterbacks for a second. So they released Mitch Trubisky yesterday, and I trust me, it sucks because Mitch is from here. No.
As a third string?
No.
Why not?
No, doesn't fit.
How does it not fit?
I know he runs a little
As
bit.
a third string though? Who else are you going to get at third string?
I don't know, somebody cheaper. He's a veteran.
What is Mitch going to command?
He's a veteran, so there's a minimum you have to pay him to put him on the practice squad.
Which is what?
I don't know. Ryan, okay, here's my comeback, and I'm not getting angry about this, because if Mitch Trubisky came here as the third string, like that's... Take your Cleveland out of it.
Oh, I don't care that he's from Cleveland.
You're a liar.
What do I care?
Have you seen Mitch Trubisky play?
Yeah, he went to the Pro Bowl one year.
Stop that. Like 8 years ago. If you took the Cleveland out of it, people would be screaming, we're good on Mitch Trubisky. They'll find somebody else. They'll find an undrafted guy. Don't worry about it.
He'd be one of the best third string quarterbacks in the league.
And I know you look at how this season played out and you go, we really need 3. I love Mitch. I know he's from here. It's not like I'd be freaking out if they sign him. You're right. A minimum deal for a third string. I would just say no. If you really took the Cleveland on, people want him to come back here because he's from Menor. That's it. That's why. We're good.
I could care less that he's from Menor.
The Justin Fields talk is hot and heavy because the shift has now been that the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams at first overall, and they're going to move on from Justin Fields.
Mistake.
I agree. I think Justin Fields is good, and that's where the interest of the Cleveland Browns comes in. Keep him away from Pittsburgh. I can't tell you the fear that I have that he is going to go to Pittsburgh and be successful. I don't want that, okay? I want the Steelers to suck, and I want them to have to deal with Ken Pickett for another year or go sign Jimmy Garoppolo, right? I don't want them finding a quarterback. No. So I want them to stay away from Justin Fields. Now, I go over to NFL.com, and Chad Ryder, who does a 3-round mock draft, which I appreciate very much. We'll get to some Browns picks in this. You want to go to pick number 1 there for Mr. Chad Ryder?
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
So, I mean, can we just talk
Bears.
real quick about that?
Sure, absolutely.
So, the reason's got to be, just to reset the contract.
Yes. Caleb Williams is still good.
But people...
Chad writes, his combination of physical tools and natural feel point to an excellent NFL career. I know the numbers weren't there at USC, but every talent evaluator says this guy is still going to be pretty damn good.
They said the same exact thing about Zach Wilson.
There were some people that were detractors on Zach Wilson.
There's people that are
like
detractors
anything.
on Caleb Williams.
I get it. I know. Trust me. But I think when you factor in, they believe that he could probably be just as good as Justin Fields, but then cheaper, probably leans towards that.
But you have a chance to get maybe the best receiver in the last 10 years in the draft.
Hold that thought.
All right.
The Bears take Caleb Williams first overall. His combination of physical tools, as I said, the defense coordinators will hate that they even have to manage to disguise their coverages. Williams patiently reviews his options on the move and gains yards, even if no targets are available. Chad Ryder's mock. Number 2, Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels, quarterback, LSU. Washington's beginning at quarterback, banking on Daniels to lead the team. New Commanders offense coordinator Cliff Kingsbury might appreciate that Daniels can do as much as Kyler Murray did when Cliff Kingsbury was there in Arizona. Kind of makes sense. Now, number 3, the New England Patriots trade their pick to the Chicago Bears.
Get out of
for
here.
Justin Fields.
Get out of
and
here.
The Bears take
Get out of
Marvin
here.
Harrison
Get
Jr.
outta here.
Could you imagine?
Wait, but why?
The Chicago fans that would be jumping into the lake if they got Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr.
But why would New England ever do that?
If they really want Justin Fields, it's going to cost one.
To pay Justin Fields just to have nobody around for him to throw to?
I don't know, man. But they kind of, again, tying it back to the Browns, I would be happy because it would keep him away from Pittsburgh. And he would go up to New England where you're exactly right. They got jack squat nothing going up over there. So I don't want to ruin Justin Fields' career.
If the Bears can find a way to do that, get Caleb. If the Bears can find a way to get the two best players in the draft, then that's the right decision.
Here's the thing.
Then that's the right decision.
Let me ask you this. If you were Chicago.
Okay.
And I don't think. Here's the tough thing. Because what if somebody jumps you to two? Here's going to be my question.
Trade with Washington.
Would you give up? Well, what do they? I guess Justin Fields could go to Washington. But again,
no. I'm saying if.
Oh, you're talking about trade back?
Yeah.
Well, that's under the guise that they're not going to take Caleb Williams. We need to operate that they're taking Caleb Williams.
All right.
We need to operate the first pick's the first pick. So here's my question. Would you give up Justin Fields just for a number one? No other picks because you know that guy's Marvin Harrison Jr.? Two in the hand is, or
Wait,
two in the hand.
Again, I'm sorry.
So, or I'm screwing the saying up. Knowing that if you were going to trade Justin Fields,
okay,
you're asking for a 1.
Yeah.
But you would ask for sometimes a 3 or another pick or something else. Would you give up straight up just for the number 1 pick the number 1 pick from New England because it is 3rd overall and you get Marvin Harrison? I guess my point is because you know it's Marvin Harrison, you'll ask for less because of how good Marvin Harrison is.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
That's what I would do too.
100%. No question about it.
A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, right?
No question about
if you can get both of those guys for just that.
I mean, I didn't really think about that scenario as a possibility. Like if they could somehow get both of those guys, then
the fear would be somebody trades up to 2 and then goes and takes Marvin Harrison, but you feel really confident that Washington's going to take either Drake May or Jaden Daniels. The hot take out of the Senior Bowl is that Drake May is going to fall for something. But yeah, we'll see. By the way, Drake May goes 4 in this with the Denver Broncos, who trade up to go get Drake May. Trade up with Arizona then. So, again, Chad Ryder's mock draft. So, again, the interest for the Browns is I'm trying to keep Justin Fields away from Pittsburgh. Because as it circles around, Russell Wilson will be available too. And I know, right? You're like, okay, what's he got left? Who knows? And let me put it this way. And save this for a long time. I don't know if you have a folder of long-term takes here. The starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1 is not on their roster right now. I don't think that's a hot take in any stretch of the imagination. There is in no way that it's going to be Kenny Pickett. There is in no way, no world that they're going to run it out there with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett. For the first time in a long time, the Steelers are going to have to go find a quarterback somewhere else. And they're going to have to go get one in free agency. And I didn't look at their cap situation, but you're right. There's somebody's going to have to pay Justin Fields. And they better be all for sure that he can turn that around.
Which, I said it ad nauseum. Atlanta has to go get Justin Fields.
Yeah,
they would be so good.
All right, Justin Fields landing spots. Pittsburgh, New England, Atlanta.
I've been saying Atlanta since last year, Matt. Like, they would be so good with Justin Fields.
What about like Tennessee? They need a quarterback.
Yeah, they might ride it out with Will.
I guess maybe one more year I could see. Washington, I feel like they're not. We want to draft one. We're good. We want to draft one.
Yeah,
there, and that's the thing. You've got three bona fide first rounders in Caleb Williams, Jade Daniels, and Drake May. And then if you mix in Bo Nix or Michael Penix, call him a shot at Penix.
If I was the Steelers, I would probably trade up and draft J.J. McCarthy.
Good call, Ryan. Yeah, do that, Steelers.
I hope they're listening.
Do that.
I hope they're listening.
All right, let's get to the Browns picks. This is a 3-round mock from Chad Ryder. So, of course, we got to go down to the second round. Pick number 54 for the Cleveland Browns, round 2. With the 52nd or 54th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Jeremiah Trotter Jr., linebacker, Clemson.
You need a linebacker.
Not at 54, man.
No, I agree.
Not at 54.
No, I agree. I would go elsewhere.
No. Absolutely. And that's not a shot.
You got to either go wide receiver
You
or
have
tackle.
got to go wide receiver. And I tried to scroll through quick. Oh, my God. He's got Kool-Aid McKinstry going at 59. I see mocks that he's in the top 15.
Yeah, he's a candidate to drop too. People have been saying.
Here are wide receivers that go after our 54 pick. Xavier Worthy out of Texas. Lad McConkey.
Give me Lad.
I know, you're a
Give
big Lad
me
McConkey.
Lad.
Troy Franklin out of Oregon.
Give me Roman Wilson.
Those are Rome Wilson goes in the third round in this. He goes in the third round in this mock. Now, the Browns' third round pick in this, which I also do not agree with at all. In the third round, the Cleveland Browns select 85 overall, Trey Benson, Florida State, running back. I know the Chubb thing. I get it.
That'll tell you a few things, huh?
I will have a heart attack if the Browns go linebacker running
That'll
back
tell you a lot.
with their first 2 picks. Now, that is under the guise that maybe they go sign a wide receiver in free. If they sign a wide receiver in free agency, I don't care what they do, right? I'd still want a wide receiver in the second round. And where's my pass rusher? Where's my other pass rusher?
Come on, you know we don't draft those.
Oh, we do.
Ends,
They just do them
ends,
late.
ends,
They tried on Alex Wright. They've tried on a couple of guys. They just don't find them.
We like our renta passer rushers.
Let me find you here. Rome Wilson was a third rounder. Rome Wilson goes 70 to the Giants in this mock. So you'd be able to get him in that second round, but probably not the third round. And no real good wide receivers after. I say good relative of guys that you know.
Dude, go give me Roman Wilson in the third round, and then at that 54, give me that whatever is the D tackle from Texas.
Oh, yeah, we talked about him a little bit ago, yeah. They got a kicker going in the third round.
Where do they have Penix?
I didn't look. Sorry, I got to search. This is a little slow here. Does not have him in the first round. Let's see if he's got him in the second round. He's got him going 50 to Seattle in the second round for Michael Penix.
Ooh, I like that for him.
That'd be spicy for Seattle. I think that'd be pretty spicy for Seattle.
I love that for Michael Penix.
Yeah, I do too. All right, we got to get to our second 2 for Tuesday. Coming up, we got to talk some Cavs. We're going to hear from Donovan Mitchell. We still got our Seinfeld bracket going. I got a thumbs up already that the bracket looks good.
Hell yeah.
So we put it up earlier. We're doing Seinfeld. We need help on just making sure everything's seeded properly and all that. Well, speaking of seeds, in a way, our second 2 for 2. What?
That pun you just made, I was laughing at.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I heard a noise like somebody joined us.
Oh, no, I clicked on the keyboard.
Oh, okay, no worries. I was like, is Chico here? We're going to talk Seinfeld? Second 2 for Tuesday. Red or green grapes? This is a house divided for the Fontanas. My wife loves red grapes. I love green grapes. And being the good husband that I am, I make the sacrifice and I buy red grapes all the time. I haven't had green grapes in years because nobody will eat them in our house but me.
I'm pretty split on this, Matt.
You can't. I don't think you can be. There's one that's better. It's green. That's the answer. Red grapes are not, grapes are good in general. That's fine. Green grapes are superior to red grapes. They just are.
I think it depends on a couple factors.
Well, and I don't want to get into you're talking about wine and stuff like that. Because I prefer white wine to red wine.
Oh, I do.
Are you a big wine guy?
No, but white. I can't drink red. White's the only wine I drink.
Yeah.
But one of the best snacks ever. I don't know if you ever do this, Matt. Do you freeze your grapes and eat them?
No, I know people that do.
Really good.
Yeah,
really
I know
good.
people that do. I just pop them right out of the bag. They're delicious, but no, not necessarily. But green grapes are my answer there. So vote on that at Matt Fontana.
I think
Show.
I would lean green.
Cast your vote. Cast your vote.
All right, green.
Let's go. The Cavs are teasing a major announcement. I got this from 19 News this morning.
19 News will have live coverage of a major announcement by the Cavaliers. Here's what we know now. Should I read it?
Yeah, please.
All right, it's loading. The Cavs went on record about their major announcement Sunday with a commercial in the Super Bowl. I don't remember that.
19 News is going to stream it live. When does this happen? When does this happen? I'm clicking on Cavs/broadcast. There's an announcement at 12 p.m. Right after, obviously we get done at 11.
What could they tease, though? Why would they tease it?
I really have no idea. Important broadcast announcement. Are they going to have something about their TV rights? When you hear broadcast announcement,
yeah,
we know Bally's, because I don't know if you had that in the morning update, that got approved by the judge. So the Guardians are going to be on Bally's this year for this upcoming season. I know. We love Bally's. We're a part of it. It's a tough situation for everybody. It's tough for Major League Baseball. It's tough for the Guardians. It's tough for Bally's. It's not their fault. I get it. Well, it's not some of their fault.
Oh, Green's killing it right now.
Good. It should. Important broadcast announcement for the Cavs coming up. We'll get to that a little bit later. We got to hear from Donovan Mitchell as well. Folks, Tipico. I hate doing it in a loss. But we cashed our parlay last night. Max Strus making us sweat it the hell out. He had to get back-to-back rebounds last night.
What does DJ Khaled say, Matt? Do you remember?
No?
Another one.
I love it. We're hot. We're good on Tipico. Folks, we're going to do another boost tonight. You want to do a little Blue Jackets boost tonight? They're in action. Why not?
You're going to have to carry me
I know.
for
I'll
that.
carry us on that one. But, folks, get
All I know
signed
is
up
what,
with
Boone
Tipico.
Jenner's a dude?
Yeah, he was in the All-Star game. He was in the All-Star
It's
game.
an all-star name, Boone Jenner.
Boone Jenner, he's a good guy. Great hockey player. We'll do our boost on Tipico coming up. Get signed up with that code Fontana 100. I know some people did win over the weekend with some of our bonus bets over the big game as well. And again, the boosts are what we love. We do these. We were talking about that last week. Somebody accused us of being, oh, these are just created by the sports book to win. No, these are created by Ryan and me. And to be honest with you, I think we're on a pretty good hit rate right now.
At least 60%.
I know. We want to win. I place my bets just like everybody else. We want to win.
You just reminded me.
What?
I bet last night, Matt.
Yeah.
No, not on the
Not the Cavs?
I bet. Thank God I didn't. But, well, I did bet, but so originally I put $50,
That's
but
a
then
lot
I
of
cashed
cash.
it out to put. I only bet 10 on this. I bet Giannis 40 points.
Did
Okay,
he get-
it was
did
like
he-
plus 650. Dude had 26 at halftime, blew out the Nuggets, so he only
He
dropped
didn't play.
36.
Yeah.
That's why
Play. It's finicky, man. It's finicky. Like, again, we were dead and buried on Max Strus getting 4 rebounds yesterday until 2 minutes to go in the game, and he grabbed 2 more.
He hustled. For
I
that.
know he did. It's like he knew. Max, we appreciate you on this show, man.
But for people who hate on Max, like that's why he.
Oh,
Gets
he's a
minutes.
hustle guy. I got some takes on Max Strus. We'll get to that coming up. But anyway, we hit on it Tipico last night. We'll do a Blue Jackets boost tonight. Sign up using the code Fontana 100. We know the NFL season is behind us. We got basketball. We got hockey. Baseball will be here before. And pitchers and catchers report. We're going.
I can't wait to bet home runs.
Dude, I love betting the over-under in baseball. I don't know why. There's something about the over-under in baseball that just gets me going. I love it. Tipico is the place that we bet. Use that code Fontana100. Deposit and bet $25 on whatever you want. You've used up all your credits on all the other ones, right? You're out. You're done. You're down. Tipico. Deposit bet $25 on whatever you want. With code Fontana100, you get $100 in bonus bets. Get that bankroll back up for the summer as we get geared up for NBA playoffs. Can you wait to start betting some NBA playoffs, dude? I love it. We love Tipico. Check them out here in the break. See the QR code. Cavs, hear from Donovan Mitchell. Talk a little Max Strus as well. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Cavs with stinker last night. I was shocked they got back into it as quick as they did. And they gave a good fight. Philadelphia, even without Embiid, I still thought they were a little bit of a dangerous team. Talk about the Cavs. One thing I love to hear from Donovan Mitchell. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Follow us. We're up on Twitter. We got to purge, Ryan, because we lost. I guess Twitter did finally a porn bot cleanup here.
I saw a tweet about it.
I hope so,
and then
man.
I saw I lost some followers. Our show lost some followers.
I lost some too. Dude, I got to tell you, when I click on my notifications, I will say today it's been a lot better. Because in the past, it was just the same AI bot created likes. People were liking tweets that I sent in 2015.
Yeah.
That's creepy, man. So follow us at Matt Fontana Show, not if you're a porn bot. We're up on Twitter. We're up on YouTube at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on Twitch. That's our new venture there, co-streaming right there as well. And, of course, Instagram, which is always a lot of fun, at Matt Fontana Show. So the Cavs fall last night to the 76ers, 123-121. And I felt like the majority of that game was the 76ers. They'd get out to a 5-7. I think they got up to a 9-point lead at some point. But it was actually a fun basketball game. It was a lot of back and forth. And then the Cavs somehow miraculously had a look at it. Because with about 4 to go, you're like, okay, wait a minute, maybe we're done here. And the Cavs didn't give up. Now, I start with that. I love that mindset. That in the grand scheme of it, I know I hyped that game yesterday saying I wanted to bury the 76ers and I wanted them just to be gone or whatever. Fine. Okay. But the Cavs could have just been like, dude, all right, we've won 8 in a row. 16 out of our last 17. We had an off night. That's all right. And they didn't have that. They had the mindset of we're still going to try to win this game. And they had to look at it. Now, that being said, Donovan Mitchell with some pretty strong words about the game last night. Here's the sound, courtesy of our friends at Bally Sports. Donovan Mitchell post-game talking about what he saw from the Wine and Gold last night.
I don't mean to say this in a harsh way, but we kind of deserve to lose this game just based off of how we started. We came out as if, one day we're going to lay down and let us just continue to do what we do. But I think also, we just didn't, put forth that, especially defensively. Offensively, we got what we wanted, but, we didn't come out the right way. And, basketball guys don't reward you, for that. So, we will learn from it. We've been playing great basketball. This is nothing to, overreact to and get upset at. But I think the biggest thing is just coming out with the right mentality. We hadn't done that in months. You know what I mean? So, it's okay to have a blip on the radar, but for us, it's continuing to sustain that.
A little
Not
reset.
getting, bored with success, and I think we did that to start. Second half, we came out ready to go, and then they got hot. They got guys that can get going, and when we're always going to give ourselves a shot, we were right there, but ultimately, that's what happens.
I love that from Donovan because he mentioned kind of what I was fearful of. That the Cavs still feel like even when we have a bad start, we'll still get a look at it, right? Because you could say all right, we came out with a bad start, but we still had to look at the end. If Donovan's shot goes into tie, or if Garland hits that 3, we win. You can't have that. You've got to have the mindset that Donovan Mitchell has. If we're not going to show up and give effort, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. Now, the problem is, like you said, they've been doing that for a month. I'm not saying they haven't been showing up with effort for a month, but they've just been on this hot streak where they need a little kick to understand, okay, not how you want to go. All-star game this weekend. You got a little time to stew on it. It's something that you needed. But I appreciated Donovan saying that to be like, I know we still had a look at winning that game. Can't fall back on that. You cannot fall back on that. I like him. I'm not overly concerned. They need a game like this sometimes to reset a little bit. And you give credit there for the 76ers. They came out. They had 3 guys score 20 or more points. Oubre didn't do anything. All of a sudden did everything. Buddy Hield seems to be a good move. And you realize, dude, if we're not going to play our brand of basketball, we're going to lose games like that.
Yeah, thankfully, the Knicks lost on that. I don't know if you saw that really bad call there at the end.
Yeah, the refs.
On Jalen Brunson. But they lost. But, I mean, and I'll be the first to admit this, Matt. And I know, back a few months ago, kind of when the Cavs season was just starting, I was not a big Dean Wade fan. I really wasn't. And he's been really playing well on the defensive side of the ball. And, we saw him out, and George Niang kind of picked up some minutes there. But, I mean, really, I think you could clearly see kind of an impact that Dean Wade being out had. I mean, one of the most important positions is a guy who can guard the wing, right? That 3-and-D player. And Dean Wade's numbers and stats on defense are pretty much up there with a lot of the best wing defenders in the NBA.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're going to start putting more on some other guys like Max Strus. The things Max does, the effort, the diving for basketball, the text. Okay, I know that people are upset on that. I like a little passion and stuff. Are you worried about his shot?
A little bit.
Are you worried about Max Strus' shot right now?
A little bit.
Something seems off. Okay, and I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago about Max, and I'll just kind of sum it up with this. Is that with all of these changes and stuff, there's going to have to be some changes to the players, right? So I want to go back. This is just the month of February for Max Strus, okay? In 7 games. And I want to preface this whole conversation by saying I'm happy he's here. I think it's a good contract, and I love what he brings to this team. But the three-point shooting is what I wanted him to do. Now, in the month of February, he is shooting 38% from beyond the arc.
Not horrible.
Very attainable. Very fine. The thing is, Ryan, you take out the game against Sacramento, which he was 6 out of 10 from behind the arc. And I'm going to pull my calculator because I'm bad at math here.
Me and you both.
I could probably do this on the fly. Watch this. 11, 15, 16, 21, 27 attempts. 4, 6, 8. Okay.
32%, 31.
29%. You take out that 6 for 10 game that he had against Sacramento. He's only 29% from behind the arc this month.
The thing is with a guy like Max, though, I mean,
like
when
any
you have a
3-point
shot, you're going to get it back.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I want him to keep shooting. The only thing about a shooter is if they're in a funk, all you can do is keep shooting to get your way out of it. And the thing is, I think he can turn it around quick. I do. So that's an element. That's a little bit of a spark that you could have later on. And again, I'm not saying I love Max Strus here. I'm happy he's here. The 3-point shot. I think he's one of the guys that the return of Mobley and Darius Garland, I think it's going to impact him more than maybe anybody else. And you're going to scream at me and go, they don't even play the same position. I know. Watch the minutes. Watch some of the stretches of basketball that Max Strus is not out there. And there's still, Isaac Okoro has to be out there sometimes for defense. You're going to get George Niang his minutes. Even in a game last night where he didn't have Dean Wade, which again, I know they play a little bit of a different position. And last night he played 30 minutes. But Ryan, that was the first time all month that he's played 30 minutes. And he played 30 on the nose, right? When I go back to his stretch of, there was times where he was playing 35 and 36. And I'll put it this way. This month of basketball, he's averaging 27 minutes on the floor. That is the lowest this season. When he started the year, and take October out of it because it was 4 games, he averaged 34 minutes in November. He averaged 34 minutes in December, 29 in January, now 27 here in the month of February. His minutes have gone steadily down. And that's a role change for him, which I'm sure he's going to accept and hopefully understand. But that's kind of one of the byproducts of getting these guys back. There's only so many minutes. There's only so many touches. There's only so many shots. And I think we all got wrapped up in saying, okay, Mobley's going to come back. That means less minutes for Jared Allen. Or that's not necessarily. It could be a guy like Max Strus, where you see some of these different lineups that JB wants to run. What was the one they were talking about last night? And I think Strus was a part of it. I think you had Allen, LeVert, Strus, Mitchell, and Garland all on the floor at the same time, where Jared Allen was your only big man out there on the floor. And then you can flip it around and try to go the other way. You got Mobley and Allen and sometimes Dean. I mean, there's all these changes that are going to have to happen. And eventually Tristan Thompson will come back. I mean, there's all these things that JB is kind of figuring out. And in no way am I ripping on Max Strus. I love Max Strus. I think he plays an important role in this team. It's just, I think the shot has gone away a little bit and his minutes are going down.
Yeah, look, I'm not worried, right? Like, the regular season absolutely matters now that you don't have LeBron. We talked about this a lot, right? That 2 seed is going to be really important if we can hold on to that. But the reason we got a guy like Max Strus is because of our ending in the playoffs last year. If Max Strus comes back, has a good, strong end of the season, and shows up in the playoffs, then everything is obviously right in the world. I'm not really going to be concerned. Like, I'd be concerned if like we saw this guy Max Strus come out, he wasn't playing defense, he wasn't meshing well with the lineups. But the lineups that the Cavs are playing the best plus minus, and Max Strus is a part of a lot of those lineups. And something like a shot, who a guy we know can make, really, that's why we signed him. He's going to get it back, right? That's something that kind of just comes in grooves, unless you're like a generational shooter like Steph Curry. So I'm not necessarily worried in the slightest with Max. It'd be nice to see it kind of get more consistent throughout the season. But really, as long as he shows up during the end of the season and into that playoffs where we're going to need him, everything's all right.
Let's head over to ESPN. They did the NBA races to watch the most, or the most important battles. So a lot of their stuff is focused out west, because that is a little more wide open. For the East, of course, they bring up the race for the number 2, where the Cavs have taken charge. Let's read through it here. The Celtics have the best record in the NBA and sit comfortably, 5 games entering last night, at top of the Eastern Conference. But whichever team finishes behind them with the number 2 seed could pose the biggest challenge for Boston come playoff time. Currently, that spot belongs to the Cavs. Winners of, again, going into last night, 9 in a row, 17 out of their last 18, and arguably the hottest team in the league. Cleveland is still searching for their first playoff win without LeBron since 1993. They have a defense that ranks second, and Donovan Mitchell is playing even better than he did last season, and the Cavs have a makeup of a real contender in the East. But now we look to the other teams. This is from Jamal Collier, by the way, from ESPN. At the start of the season, the Milwaukee Bucks were considered in the same tier as Boston, yet things have not gone so smoothly in the first year of Giannis and Dame Lillard. The Bucks replaced their first-year head coach, Adrian Griffin, with Doc Rivers, who has started just 2-5 since taking over that job. It's not the playoffs. That's weird. After the trade deadline, the Knicks garnered the most league-wide praise for a strong deadline of savvy moves. They built themselves up for a deep playoff run behind Jalen Brunson, who made his first All-Star team, and his ascension has changed the trajectory of the franchise. Claiming the number 2 seed in the East has its share of advantages. A favorable first-round matchup against what potentially could be a weak play-in field, and home court advantage to at least the Eastern Conference Finals, and biggest, avoiding an early matchup with the Boston Celtics. That is a write-up from Jamal Collier. So the important, like what Jamal's talking about there is right. The seeding of 2 to stay away from Boston, at least early. Ryan, how many playoffs have we started that in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, when we finally get to the conference finals, teams are completely different? Go back to the last time the Cavs faced the Celtics in the Eastern, not the last time, but I go back to 2014-15, right? You lost all your guys. Kelly Olynyk dislocating Kevin Love's shoulder. Jackass.
Yeah, jackass.
You jackass. What is that? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Sounds like a woodpecker. But how big things can change. There's some serious construction going on. You hear that?
Yeah. It's a new Brown Stadium.
It'll never be at Burke. I put my life on that. That'll never be at Burke.
People are hating on Burke.
Doesn't matter if you hate it or love it. They ain't moving it. I'm telling you that right now.
Not leaving.
They're not leaving. We're not leaving. We're here. We're here at Big Play. How big can a change be after a couple weeks of the playoffs? You lose this player. You don't have this guy anymore. I'd like to avoid Boston. And especially if they get the Bucks in the second round, or the Knicks. I mean, it's playing out this way, right? The top 4 seeds you believe are going to be the same, because I think the other thing that Jamal mentioned, it's the top 4 and then everybody else. And I'm going to say that about the 76ers too. I know they beat us last night. Okay, maybe there's 5. But outside of that, do you think Atlanta is doing anything?
No.
Here, right now, if it went chalk. Oh, okay, I lied. We'd face the Pacers. I don't know if I like that. Pacers are a little scrappy team, although they lost last night. It cost me a parlay, but that's okay. Philadelphia, Orlando, Indiana, Miami. Those are 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Chicago and Atlanta really are falling off now at this point. They're going to make the play-in tournament, but you don't believe any of that. So it's going to probably play out that in that second round, you are going to be talking about, Boston versus either Milwaukee or the Knicks, and we get the other team. And I'd like it to be the Knicks. Am I weird for that? I'd much rather have the Knicks than the Bucks for us in the second round.
I'd rather have the Knicks just because, well, yeah,
Bucks
I don't know.
like scuff. Like, here's the thing: if they keep scuffling,
yeah.
and if Doc Rivers really is not going to get this thing turned around,
I mean,
then
I would
it'd be
I would like to
Milwaukee.
avoid Giannis. Obviously,
That's exactly
anytime
my
I
point.
can.
I mean, they
but
could
then
be playing
again, like,
horrible,
I mean,
and then
I
it's
wouldn't
just
I wouldn't
Giannis.
mind a matchup with the Knicks because obviously they're going to be playing pissed off. Like,
Yeah.
So I mean,
We got a 1-game gap back to Milwaukee. We have a 3-game gap back to the Knicks at 4. How's that, man? We're going to be entering the All-Star break with a gap as the 2 seed. Great time to be with the Cavs. Great time to be with the Cavs. All right, let's do this. Let's catch our break. When we come back, morning update. We got everything. Guardians report. We got TV news with them. A lot more to get to in hour 2. We do have this major about the Cavs broadcast announcement. I wonder what it's going to be. A major announcement. It'll be on Channel 19. Are the games going to be on Channel 19? I don't know. And I just sent you a DM that I want to play in hour 2. Adam Schefter talking Caleb Williams, Justin Fields. Perfect timing for us. He was on Get Up this morning. So we'll play that coming up in hour 2. Last night, great night. We had it all for you, folks. Had Booby. I tuned in for Booby and Rafa for a little bit on Booby's World. You had Come Get Some with Blake and Greg Williams. You had the Big Play Cleveland show with a personal friend of mine, Jensen Lewis, as he gets ready to go out to Phoenix for spring training. Jensen is the
that
best.
dude knows ball.
Doesn't he? He's a lot of fun, man. And I know he's everywhere. So he does, with Al on the pregame here, but he's not serious. He's all over the
He
place.
could
So
probably throw me 900 feet. He's so big.
he's a big dude now. I don't know if he's quite that way when he was playing, but he's a big dude now. He's pretty jacked. So Jensen was on last night, the Big Play Cleveland show. I saw Bobby Carpenter. They had Josh Perry, former Ohio State linebacker, filling in there for Schlegs on the Bobby Carpenter show. But tonight, we got Josh and Maria Cribbs and Enter the Jungle with James Rapine. Of course, a new show on Bally's for us as well. We got you covered here on Big Play, folks. Follow us on Twitter at Big Play. We're on Twitter in the same spot. We're up on YouTube as well. All across all the platforms, we got it for you with Big Play. Let's get to the morning update, and I want you to play this Adam Schefter sound. I don't even want you to listen to it. Can you pull? Let me ask you this. Can you pull that clip up without listening to it?
Yeah.
Because I want your honest reaction to it.
Okay.
Of when they play it. All right? We'll do that coming up in hour 2. Morning update comes your way next. Stay with us. We got a lot here in the morning update to get to on a Tuesday. Ryan's got the stories. I sent you that Adam Schefter clip. I want your honest reaction to that. We will get to it coming up here in just a minute. We also got this announcement from the Cavs coming this morning. A few other things to jump into with the Browns as well. But we start, go ahead, Ryan, with the morning updates.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, let's talk about the Cavs again for a second, right?
Please.
I think they are absolutely no doubt about it. You could say, the hottest team in the NBA. Yes, they fall to the 76ers without Joel Embiid, but Matt, all is good. The Knicks lost. We still got a little games ahead of the Bucks. We're sitting in that 2 seed, and we very well could finish out that way.
I mean, the thing about the Cavs, with Donovan Mitchell being a team leader as he is, to step up and say, guys, we can't play that way. Who is the leader of the Cavaliers? Who is the leader of the Cavaliers?
Donovan.
Good. I want it to be that way. It should normally be one of your best players. And I think Donovan, even at just 28 years old, does he not seem like light years older than some of these other guys?
Yeah.
And that's not, again, he's 28. But, like, Tristan Thompson plays that role. Like, George Niang has been around for a little bit, even Max Strus. Like, we forget Evan Mobley's 22. What's Jared Allen? Is he 26?
He's really, I think 26. I think you're right on the number.
He's 25 years old.
Wow.
So at 28, you're asking Donovan Mitchell to step up and be that guy. So I appreciate him when he comes out. He says, guys, that's bullcrap. We're not going to play this way. This is not how it gets done. Coaches can take you so far. JB can say so much. You need a guy like Donovan Mitchell to step up. So I appreciate him because I think you want to know, which is kind of just near right in my head. You ready for this?
Better in airplane noise.
Near. With Donovan Mitchell's future, which I know is a very complicated discussion to be had in this town. But who holds the keys to that decision? Donovan Mitchell, right? What does he want? He wants all the information that he can get to make the right move on where his future will be, right? You want to see the best version of this Cavaliers team. So that way you can make the best decision. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't want to get to the end of this season like how it ended last season, where you got smoked in the playoffs and you sit there and you just wonder, like, if we had just been a little bit tougher, if this just would have happened. No, you want to take out as many variables as you can. So this streak that the Cavs have gone on has been great. And you want to continue that after the All-Star game. And you want to get to the playoffs. And you want to win a series. Try to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. You want all of that. But Donovan wants that. Because he's going to sit back and say, did I get a true taste of who this team is? And if I did, is that enough to wet my whistle here? Is that exactly what I'm looking for with this team? And I'll stay here and I'm going to sign this deal. That's an important part of this. You want a true look at who the Cavs are to help Donovan make his decision. And I hope he gets that here moving forward. I think he will.
Alrighty, well, the Steelers, we know, are parting ways with quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, Matt. And why is that news? Well, because there's potential rumors that Mike Tomlin really likes Justin Fields. And could you see a reality where Justin Fields joins a division with Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, MVP?
I don't. Like, offhand, so I'm looking this up right now. The Steelers' cap space from Over the Cap. They are $16 million in the red for this season coming up. Their biggest cap hit is TJ Watt. Okay, they can restructure that. Then Cam Hayward. Then Minka Fitzpatrick. They should probably try to get rid of Deontay Johnson. I don't know what to tell you. So, again, like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, they're going to be able to figure this out and get under the cap. Because you're going to have to... But, I mean, could you trade for Justin Fields and just say, like, hey, play it out for this last season and then we'll figure it out? Right? Because what's Justin Fields' contract? 4-year... And they picked up his 5th year... Oh, no. Wait a minute. Oh, no. They need to pick up his 5th year option this offseason, which I'm sure they will do, or they trade him for the other team to then pick it up. Oh, yeah. That's it. Oh, do that all day. Justin Fields' cap hit for next year is $6 million.
Nothing.
You pick up that fifth-year option, what are we talking? Maybe 20? Oh, yeah, you do that. You do that all day long. Yeah. Damn. Now you're talking about a bidding war. Now you're talking about if there's really do you think there's going to be other teams that are truly interested in Justin Fields?
I would assume and
like
hope so.
3 maybe? I mean, I put too much on it. I think Justin Fields is really good.
No, he is.
I think he's really good. I do. It makes a lot of sense. We'll play that clip. I want you to hear what Adam Schefter had to say coming up a little bit on Get Up about the situation with Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. And again, you're right. This impacts the Browns. He comes to this division and they figure it out with Pittsburgh. I don't want that to happen. No, please no.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, to nobody's surprise, the Taylor Swift effect, of course. This Super Bowl averaged 123.4 million viewers. That's the most ever. That shattered last year's mark of 115.1 million, Matt. That's a 7% increase.
I mean, I think the NFL is growing anyway. Here's the interesting thing. Like, how they do all these metrics, right? It's not like they have a box at everybody's house. Like, I go back to the days of Arbitron, right? Or back in the day, of, God, what were they? Arbitron was the TV, or the radio one. That's the one I care about. What's the TV? Oh, the Nielsen, thank you. And you'd have a box on your TV, and it would tell the company when you watch this and when you watch. Now, it's just streaming. Everybody knows, okay, you stream this. It was the most streamed Super Bowl of all time. I always think that number is kind of weird. Because how do they know how many people are in the room?
I know, I thought about
I was
that.
at my parents' house for the start of the game. There were 12 people in that room. My brothers, their girlfriends, my parents, my uncle. How do they count all that? There's no way they can know that. I mean, it's great. Numbers are going up. They're going to charge you even more money. And of course Taylor Swift is having an impact on this. Of course, jersey sales and all that. And the NFL loves it. And the thing is it better or worse that they lost, or that the Kansas City Chiefs won? Because I thought it'd be better if they lost, because then all the Swifties would be back next year. We got to go win another Super Bowl, or they're more invested. A lot of people are talking about if it's scripted in the NFL. It's not. I can almost guarantee you it's not. But I thought it would have been better. That's an interesting question. Would it have been better for the Taylor Swift effect to the NFL if the Chiefs would have won or lost? I think it would have been better if it would have lost.
I think you're right.
She's made her career about breakups and heartache. It would have been better. She would have wrote a song about them losing the game. But on the flip side, what do you get? Them videos of them making out in the club, and she'll be on the parade route and all that other kind of stuff. It's a fairy tale ending at this point. And I think for the Swiftie fans, they're in as long as she and Travis are together. So I guess it all works out.
Well, we talked about the waste management yesterday, Matt, and the debacle that turned into.
It's debauchery is what it is.
That's
it's
a very
terrible.
good word.
It's awful.
Well, Chance Cosby, the executive director of the Thunderbirds, the civic organization that hosts the Phoenix Open Waste Management, said, "I think you will see a complete operational change of how we manage. We're very proud of what we built. I think we've been tournament of the year for the PGA the last 5-7 years."
You can go change your operations. It ain't going to change the jackasses that come in there. That's what you need to change. And the PGA Tour has got to get involved here to set a decorum, right? And I sound like such a stick in the mud, and I don't mean to be that way, right? But when you see guys walking around in wedding dresses, when there's a whole row of guys dressed as Canadian Mounted Police in the front row, you see me laughing because I think it's hilarious. I do. Is that hurting anybody? No. And I find it funny. But where are you going to, my whole point is, where are you going to draw the line? What I don't want to see is a bunch of jackasses falling down a muddy hill because they're hammered. I don't want to see people fighting as they're walking down the cart path. I don't want to have to see guys in the, yelling at the gallery like Zach Johnson and Billy Horschel. So I'm going to say, hey, knock that crap off, but you can show up as Farva from Super Troopers and stand in the front row and cheer. Like, I don't think you can have it both ways here. So they can change their operational status on it. What are they going to do? Start limiting alcohol? Guys will sneak it in. They were sneaking it in last year. I know they were. How could they not be? Limit the consumption? Sure. Okay. You want your operational, I'll fix the Waste Management Phoenix Open. I'll fix it for tickets, right? You, me, my dad, bring my father-in-law, my wife can come, we'll take the kids on vacation. We'll go out there. It's all right. We'll go. I'll fix it for you. I want a suite, 12-person suite. That's all I ask. You put the most amount of cops and security ever that people cannot take 2 steps without seeing some sort of enforcement. And the rules are, if you act up, you're going to jail. It's not that you get thrown out and you don't get to come back in. It's if we see you inebriated, you're getting popped for public intox. We see you get into a fight, you're going to jail for the weekend, by the way, for assault. That is it. So again, I see somebody walking around in Canadian Mounted Police uniforms. That's funny. That's fine. I see people walking around in a wedding dress. Okay, sure, fine. That's funny. There's a line you cannot cross. And they do that and they fix it. And maybe that's what he's talking about, where you just at that point have to operate like you're on a college campus. And how do you keep that? With a massive amount of security and police. And them standing there, where again, I'm talking about you cannot walk 10 feet without running into yet another, and put them in uniform. Don't give them some, swishy jacket, swishy wind jacket that says security on the back of it. Don't hire some 75-year-old guy to do it. I'm talking about police and security that if you take a step and you're out of line, you're out of there. You're out of there. That's what they need to do to get that back in line. Again, the fun stuff that doesn't cross the line, keep that. It's the drunk idiots that they need to limit. And the yelling. That too. But we'll fix the Waste Management Phoenix Open for another day.
All right, you want to end the morning update with the Shefty video?
Yes. So we were talking a lot about Justin Fields earlier, and it's tied in with the Cleveland Browns where we don't want him to go to Pittsburgh. So Ryan and I have gone back and forth on what Chicago's going to do with Caleb Williams. What are they going to do with Justin Fields? We did Chad Ryder's mock draft earlier today. Chad had the projection that he had the New England Patriots trading their 3rd overall pick to get Justin Fields, and then the Bears can draft Caleb Williams at 1 and Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3. That would be, dude, I'm not a Bears fan, but holy God. Like, that would be one of the best drafts. Like, you talk about C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson type stuff. I mean, that is a haul. Now, that being all said, it's funny that this video literally popped up this morning from Get Up, courtesy of ESPN. Here's Shefty talking about a scenario that you and I didn't even bring up when it comes to Caleb Williams and Justin Fields. Adam Schefter, Get Up, courtesy of ESPN.
They have talked about the idea, as unlikely as it seems, of carrying both quarterbacks, taking the guy at 1 and keeping Fields. Now, will they get to that? It's hard to imagine that, but that is a conversation that's come up within the organization.
Okay, so
you want to listen to Greeny when he has to say on it? Sure. Now, Chef. All right, so here's Greeny talking about it.
Because we have been yelling at Jeff all morning long about his ridiculously misguided takes on the coaching in San Francisco, let us allow him to pat himself on the back, because you are the only person I've heard suggest the Bears might do that.
Yeah, if there's flowers, I'd throw them at my own feet right now. But
Jeff
this is
Saturday,
100% what they should do. And listen, I understand what everybody thinks. Caleb Williams is, he's the next greatest quarterback. He's C.J. Stroud, or he's Patrick Mahomes, or the reality is it's an inexact science. And if you know what you have in Justin Fields, you know you potentially could have a lame duck coach. If you're the organization and you have watched what happened to Mitchell Trubisky, you have watched what has happened to Justin Fields at this point, why would you go draft the first pick in the draft, throw him into a very similar, if not exact situation, and expect a different result?
All right,
when
keep
you
pause
have
right there.
a guy in the building.
Thank you. Great stuff on Jeff Saturday and there with Adam Schefter as well. We thank ESPN for the clip there. I got a lot to unpack there. Let me start with the idea that they would keep both of them. Ryan, you gave a look too where you're like, I don't think that's a good idea, right? If I was the Bears, and I think a lot of organizations do this, and frankly, a lot of businesses, you sit down in a group with people and you say, I want every idea. I want every good idea, bad idea, throw everything out, and we need to, because this is a franchise-changing move. We have got to overturn every single stone on this. So somebody, Ryan Poles, I got an idea. What if we kept them both? And he would probably sit there and say, okay, but let's talk about that for a second, right? Number one, and this now gets into my points about what Jeff said. Jeff's whole point is that you are guarding Caleb Williams. In the great debate of rookie quarterbacks, it's the sit versus the start. And I can tell you about Aaron Rodgers and, frankly, to this point, Jordan Love and Patrick Mahomes, the guys that sat. I can tell you about guys that started right away. Joe Burrow, I gotta say Justin Herbert to a point, but even like Lamar sat to begin. He was behind Flacco for a little bit there. Tua played right away. Josh Allen has played right away. So I get each side of it, and GMs and evaluators have said it really kind of depends on the player themselves. It really does, and how they can handle it. Because some guys that have started since the 8th grade, all through high school and college, when they come to the pros and they go, "Hey man, you're on the bench," they don't know how to handle that. So there's something that has to go with all that. The guarding of this season, because you said you might have a lame duck coach and you might have a lost season. Well, then I would say you throw Caleb Williams out there, because if he sucks, he's going to get learning mistakes out of the way, and you believe that he will learn from them and get better, and you have a lame duck season, good. You get another draft pick, which you need to still build your team up, and you move there around. The other side of it is go get a fall guy. Go get Jacoby Brissett, okay? Go trade for, I don't know, Case Keenum. And they be the fall guy for the year. You don't need to keep Justin Fields around, because it's the same thing that we kind of battle with here in Cleveland. When you have two, you don't have one. And with Caleb Williams, and I put aside all that crap about him not wanting to go here or all that, I think it was overblown. But if you keep Justin Fields, that's telling him like, yeah, we think you're the guy, but we're not really all in on you. No, you trade away Justin Fields. If you want to have a season of sitting Caleb Williams, which I kind of think is maybe the right call, you sit him, you get him some play time here and there, hope that your quarterback doesn't get hurt, and say it's all yours next year, but you can still jettison Justin Fields out there. And then the final thing, I know Ryan Poles, he's a general manager there, and they really think he's good at his job, and he's very well, and he's in with the organization. Dude, I don't know too many GMs that are staring down getting a top 10 pick for a guy and don't pull the trigger on that move. And I'm not saying like Myles Garrett. I'm talking about a guy that's probably not in your future plans anyway. That takes a lot of stones to say no to a trade like that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one thing, as you mentioned, if you had a guy who's maybe a veteran on the twilight of his career who
go find that guy.
You can go find that guy. But like Justin Fields, who's only, 24, 25, I'm not sure that quite makes sense. And then kind of vice versa, what happens then if you keep Justin Fields, you play him, and he balls out? Then what do you do?
Well, okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
I think that's an easy way to lose the locker room.
Well, the other thing is, you would say as the general manager, that pick will always be there. Like, if I'm talking about it takes a lot of stones to look at a first-round pick for a guy like Justin Fields and not make that move, so, well, that move will always be there. I could always get that first-round pick. But you're talking about the draft right now? In that scenario that Chad Ryder had, and it's the Patriots that come and call and say, do you want the 3rd overall pick and probably a good look at Marvin Harrison? How do you say no?
What happens if Washington takes him, though?
That's a gamble that you got to take. But then here's the other thing. Then you trade the 3rd overall pick to somebody who needs Drake May or Jaden Daniels, and you get another haul for that. That's a situation to be in. That's a positive situation to be in. So I'm sure they brought it up, but I don't know if I look at it, and I think the same thing for what Shefty was saying there. It's been brought up. I don't know if it's actually like the favorited thing to do. So we'll see. We got to talk about this. Taylor Swift had Kanye kicked out of the Super Bowl.
What?
Yeah.
Where did you see that?
This is just coming down right now. According to former NFL player Brandon Marshall, there could have been a lot of drama at Super Bowl 58, involving Taylor Swift and Kanye West. During the latest edition of his podcast, Marshall claimed that Swift had Ye kicked out of Allegiant Stadium after learning of a planned stunt that Kanye was going to pull. Marshall claims that Kanye had bought a ticket to the Super Bowl and planned on sitting directly in front of Taylor Swift's suite. Marshall said Kanye pulls up to Vegas, buys a ticket right in front of Taylor Swift's booth, and he had a mask with his logo on it. And every time that they would show Taylor Swift, Kanye would be standing there with his mask. Brandon Marshall said Taylor Swift got pissed off. She makes a call or two, Everybody gets involved, and he gets kicked out of the stadium for trying to sit in front of Taylor Swift. That's according to Brandon Marshall, which is now getting aggregated everywhere.
If that's true, that's very weird. Very, very weird by Kanye.
Well, he was still in a commercial, right? Was he not?
I
think so.
Was he?
Yeah.
That dude was canceled from everything.
A slot for $7 million to show a video recorded on the front of camera of his phone, which he pronounces his website's name. I guess he did have a commercial. I don't know. At the end of the day, there was no celebrity drama to distract from the game because Kanye was removed from the stadium, allegedly. Allegedly.
Interesting.
Because he wanted to sit in front of Taylor Swift with a mask on, with his logo.
Yeah, well, they have
website.
a long history.
Oh, I know
That's
they do.
for sure.
I know they do. Taylor Swift with that kind of power, huh?
Oh,
Kanye.
God, yeah.
I guess you're right. I shouldn't be shocked by that. It's Taylor Swift. But how could Kanye sit there with a mask on? It's the NFL. You think you're going to let somebody walk in with a mask on?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
kind of weird.
Yeah, we'll see if that's true.
That's kind of weird. That's just what Brandon Marshall said on his podcast this morning. So now it's getting aggregated everywhere. I clicked on it. I was like, yeah, Taylor Swift and Kanye thrown out of the Super Bowl.
That'll do clicks.
I'm sure his podcast will do well, just like our podcast does well. We don't really have a podcast. We have a show that gets podcasted all that kind of stuff. But is Kanye still a thing?
Yeah, he just dropped an album.
I mean, I know, but it's like all I ever see. Okay, I don't. I'm out of the. I don't really listen to a lot of rap music anymore. Like I'm back in the day. Like whatever, fine. Bro, all I ever see of Kanye is his wife scantily clad in places that she shouldn't be showing her breasts. Yeah. Am I missing that?
No, I think.
Am I missing that?
No, you're not. I think he's trying to be like a wannabe martyr for like.
There's something I don't.
Yeah,
listen, the guy's got a lot of money. I know a lot of people listen to his music, but all I ever see are clips of him with his wife. And she sometimes is doing or wearing things that she's not supposed to in places that she probably shouldn't. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, remember they got like banned from like I think it was in Italy, like the gondolas, because she was performing a lewd act.
Well, there was something that one of his albums has that on it or something like. I don't know. I'm shocked that Kanye is kind of still a thing, to be honest with you. But each their own, I guess. All right, we got a lot coming up. We're going to get to time op as well. We got to get this on. I think the bracket's pretty solid.
Yeah,
I think the bracket is pretty solid. So we'll get to that coming up. And I do want to talk about this because apparently the Cavs are going to have a major announcement coming up at noon today. As Channel 19 said this morning, they will have the scoop at noon on their digital platform. The Cavs first went on record about a major announcement on Sunday with a commercial in the Super Bowl. Now, that was not broadcast to the nation. It's that it was on CBS. Channel 19, who was the CBS affiliate here, they have local spots. Like I think I saw a Universal Window or Northeast Factory direct commercial, right? That's just for our area. Now, they paid a lot of good money for that.
Yeah, I saw Giannino's one, too.
Oh, did you see a I love Giannino's, man. They got some good pie, man. There's a Giannino's right around the corner from me in West Park.
They're so
good pie.
They're amazing.
They got good wings, too.
Yeah,
they got really good
wings.
wings. Can I tell you about where my Giannino's is at? So there's a little strip mall kind of thing, Warren Village right there. And it's one of my favorite spots in the world, okay? Can I start at one end of Warren Village? You have Kintaro, sushi and hot pot. They have sushi and Japanese. Or I'm sorry, not sushi and Japanese. They have Chinese and Japanese cuisine there. So they got hibachi to go. Very well-priced sushi, and I can still get orange chicken and sesame chicken. That's one. Then you go over to K&K Portage Meats, a true butcher shop that has some damn good pizza of their own right. They make cakes, and they got some good steaks in there. Next to that, used to be a Subway. Now it's a Original Steaks and Hoagies spot, which is great. Then I think there's a nail salon or something like that. Then there's one of my favorite bars in the entire world, Warren Road Tavern, WRT. It is about this wide, Ryan. It's a long bar. It gets cramped, but they have touch tunes on the jukebox, and I can load up all the Creed Nickelback that I want, and they got $2 PBRs. And they have a Big Lebowski poster behind the bar. It's one of my favorite spots in the world. I'm going to cry because I haven't been there in years. I love my kids, but I love Warren Road Tavern. Then next to Warren Road Tavern is a Dairy Queen. Then Buyer's Outlet, which has everything that you need. Then the liquor store that I like to go to. Then a jiu-jitsu place. Then my gym, or at least the gym I used to go to. Then third place, a bar that has Giannino's attached to it.
Wow.
You want a curveball there?
That's a cheat
Warren
code.
Road Tavern gets a little busy. You just walk yourself down there to third place. And you know why it's called the third place? They came up with it. You have two places. You have your home, your office. This is your third place.
There you go.
There it is. Giannino's is attached to it. So you can order food from third place, like wings and whatnot, or wings, they just get it from Giannino's. There's a door in the back. You walk into third place. Big place. And they have like a basketball hoop in the back, the Papa Shot thing. You go around the corner, there's a door. You go through that door, you're in Giannino's. So you could be sitting at the bar at third place and order from Giannino's and then just go grab it and go sit at the bar and eat.
What's the best hangover food?
See, back in the day when my wife were big brunchers, because we're millennials, so, we go out Friday night or Saturday night and you tie one on and you a little, whatever. I'd love going to brunch and then just getting, pancakes or waffles or something like that. But then you got to get a Bloody Mary to get back on the horse there.
God,
Hair the
no.
dog.
Mimosa.
Well, fine. Each their own. But that's it. See, like the leftover pizza and stuff, I'd rather have that for dinner. If like you really get after it, the next day you wake up, breakfast is like you want to get that I'll eat that pizza later. I'll eat the leftovers.
Are you
for
a guy?
dinner.
Do you eat pizza with ranch?
Sure, I can.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I can. I'm also weird from the standpoint. I don't mind cold pizza.
Yeah,
I really do not. Like, I'll warm it up. Like, we have a pizza stone for the oven that we throw it on. What a game changer that is. If you don't have a pizza stone, get one. But we'll throw in even if I throw it in the microwave for 2 seconds just to warm it up a little bit, I don't mind it cold. I don't mind cold pizza in the least. We had cold Chinese the other night, though. Rice is never good.
Oh,
rice
yeah,
and French
you can't
fries
do rice.
are just
yeah.
trash.
Oh, God, no.
Just trash as leftovers there. How do we get on that?
The bar, Warren Tavern, I think.
No, before we started that.
Hangover food.
Oh, you saw the Giannino's commercial.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how it started on that. So the Cavs put that out, so we'll see what that is coming up. And you know what? I'm going to do a little research for the show. I'm going to send a text here and break and see if somebody that I know, see if they know. All right? Get to that.
Good.
Stay there. Break coming up. Time up. Get to this bracket. Stay here. All right, let's jump in a little bit of time hop. We head back to the 13th, of Fat Tuesday. Are you ready to go for Valentine's Day tomorrow?
Yeah, I have my Garage Beer special shirt I'm going to be wearing.
Oh, good. They have special shirts for Valentine's Day? Why don't I have one?
Wait till you see this
All right,
bad boy.
I'm excited. I did the veteran husband move. I bought my wife's flowers last week. They're already on our table.
Nice.
Don't need to worry about it. So there we go. All right, we head on back, though, this day in history, and we tell you what happened, including 2 years ago today. Rams, Bengals, Super Bowl 56, and the Rams get the 23-20 win over the Bengals. It all worked out. They traded for Matt Stafford. They got him. They loaded that team on up, and they won the Super Bowl. I mean, well done for them. But isn't it a little crazy, Ryan, that if I told you 2 Super Bowls later that the Cincinnati Bengals not only would have not even been in the Super Bowl, that they hadn't even made it back to the AFC Championship game?
I love to hear it.
Isn't that crazy? Right? They didn't go to the AFC Championship game 2 years ago, right?
Wait, yeah.
Didn't they beat the Bills? Didn't Kansas City, or no, did they?
No, they,
Wait. That'd be the 2022 AFC Championship.
No, they did, because that one dude on the Bengals had a really bad penalty that lost it for them to the Chiefs, because they beat the Bills in the divisional round. So they did play the Chiefs in the championship.
No, I'm looking at January 30th, 2022.
So the year after they went to the Super Bowl, they made the AFC Championship game.
And then are you sure it wasn't a 17-10 game against Baltimore? Or was that this year?
That was the wild card round.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's when Tyler Huntley played.
I gotta look this up. Stand by. AFC Championship game.
It was Bengals Chiefs.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. 23-20. You're right. I'm sorry. So they didn't. They made it. Okay, so fine. But the fact that they haven't been back to the Super Bowl and then missed the playoffs this year because Burrow was hurt was pretty impressive. All right, we go back to Super Bowl 56. Rams get it 23-20. Odell Beckham started out the scoring with a touchdown pass. Cooper Kupp then had one. This was a 13-3 game early in the second quarter before T. Higgins had 2 touchdowns. I forgot about that 75-yarder from her.
Yeah, 4 minutes left.
That's right. And then Cooper Kupp, 1-yard touchdown with 1:25 to play, and they get the win there. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Rams went all in and worked out. This day, 2017, Charlie Casserly put out a mock draft, and he had the Browns giving up draft picks to go trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, a guy that has always just like circled the Cleveland Browns. He's always
I think it's a good thing that didn't happen.
Probably. Like, there were so many people that just wanted him here. They thought he fit the Browns. It just never really worked. This guy was here. This day, 2017, a report that the Browns' big offseason priority was re-signing Terrell Pryor. Had 1,000 yards under Hugh Jackson and the crew, and they really wanted him to come back, and of course he didn't, and really didn't play with anybody after that. This day, 2008, Roger Clemens and Brian McNamee spent 5 hours testifying to Congress over steroid use. They would lie and then, of course, get caught with perjury a little bit later on.
Never works out.
They used roids. I don't know what to tell you. You can't take it back. It is what it is. This day, 1980, the 23rd Winter Olympics opened in Lake Placid. Of course, that was most notable for the Miracle on Ice, which we will get to coming up in a little bit in timeout. This day, 1923, the New York Renaissance were founded. They were the first ever all-black professional basketball team. Very happy birthday goes out to the legend himself, Mr. Coach K, Randy Moss. Not that one, the other one. No, the wide receiver. Peter Gabriel.
Oh.
Very good. Henry Rollins and the late, great Mr. Jerry Springer celebrating a birthday today. All right, 2 movies for you today. Your first hint is that these movies are connected, even though they are 6 years apart. Okay? There's a connection between these 2 movies. All right?
Are they in like the same universe?
I wouldn't say universe, but they... Yes, like, you're talking about, like, the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah.
Not like that, but they're in the same universe in a way. It's not like these movies are directly related, but they're in a universe that exists. They're in the universe that exists. Yes, ours. No. All right, we start this day, 2004. Man, I don't want to just lay this up for you. I'm going to try to piece my way through this. Oh, man. A marine biologist looking for love stumbles upon a very unlikely partner who deals with a pretty serious issue.
This isn't animated, right? It's 2004, a marine biologist
looking for love finds it with an unlikely partner who deals with a serious issue.
Like their partner's like sick or something?
I wouldn't say sick. She deals with something.
She deals with something.
She's dealing with something. It's the whole premise of the movie is what she deals with, and this guy chasing after her. They share waffles at a diner. One of their first encounters is him sitting down and enjoying waffles with her at a diner.
Is it Ashton Kutcher?
No.
No. I don't know if I know it.
Oh my God! Here's the other thing. It's we'll get to that hint. That hint's coming up.
Okay.
The two stars of this movie are frequent collaborators, and so much so they're also in the other movie that I'm going to get to coming up here in a minute.
I'm drawing a blank here, man.
Okay. Well, okay. Drawing a blank is also something that the girl does. This girl often draws blanks because she has memory issues.
Oh, 50 First Dates?
That is correct.
Okay.
So if I said two actors and actresses that are collaborators,
Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore?
Drew Barrymore. So what movie came out this day, 1998? Nothing?
No.
The Wedding Singer.
Oh, I've never seen it.
You never seen it? The Wedding Singer is better than 50 First Dates.
Okay.
It is
I've
much
seen
better.
50 First Dates.
Wedding Singer is hilarious. It is really good. So again, ironically, and I'm sure Adam Sandler set it up that way, The Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates, both coming out this day in history, 2004 and 1998. All right, we'll get to our bracket coming up here in a second. Cavs announcement coming up at noon. It's going to be a good one. Okay, I've done some digging.
Oh, you know it?
Yes, I found some digging. Yes, I found
It's a good one?
It's going to be. Let me put it this way. It's going to be good for us. It's going to be good. I don't want to say any more because we're going to leave it like that. So I'm excited for the Cavs to make this announcement coming up at noon. So again, it'll be on CBS Channel 19 is going to have the exclusive video of that. They'll announce that at noon. It's going to be good. So I'm excited for that for the Cavs and the Wine and Gold. All right, 2 for Tuesday. First up, our question was asked, do you have a fear? As a Browns fan, are you worried that Kansas City will have the lock on the AFC for the next 5+ years? No. Leading in that 68-32. Todd tweets, nothing on the NFL is in lock, but the Browns will undoubtedly have to go through the Chiefs if they want to get to a Super Bowl. I mean, I voted yes on a fear of, I think that they're entering a scary realm. I think the Chiefs are entering a belief that no one can beat them. They know what it takes to win, and they know the importance of the playoffs and how to play down the stretch, and I think that's just a really hard combination to beat. When you have a Super Bowl quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, everything else kind of falls in place. So I voted. I was a little worried on that. And then our second 2 for Tuesday, red or green grapes. 64-36 people are on team green, which I appreciate very much.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it for me, for sure. Green is the answer there. There it is. So today's a big day for the Guardians as pitchers and catchers are reporting. They get their first workout coming up. It's exciting. I can't wait to see what this season is going to bring for them. It's been a slow off season a little bit for the Guards, but that's exciting nonetheless because it just warms you up a little bit. All right, Ryan, let's get to it. Our bracket of the week, your favorite Seinfeld episode.
All right, there it is, Matt. So Group 1 going today. Festivus, the Chicken Roaster, the Comeback, Merv Griffin, and Group 2, Soup Nazi, the Betrayal, the Race, and the Ass Man. I gotta say, Matt, I think I've only seen Festivus.
I've seen Festivus. I've seen Ass Man. I've seen Soup Nazi. The thing is about like some of these, like the Betrayal. Which one is the Betrayal?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know. Hopefully, everybody can kind of know what the episode is.
I'm assuming that a lot of people, or you're gonna have to Google it. It begins with a backwards narrative, starting from the final scene to the first. This is the one about this. Okay, so people voted for the reverse episode of going to India for the wedding. That's this one. Did we put the other one? We didn't put that in twice, did we?
Well, I don't think so, no.
The India wedding? No, I don't think we put that in because that is this episode.
Okay.
Elaine receives an invitation to Sue Ellen Mishki's wedding in India. Given the late arrival of the invitation, Elaine assumes it's an uninvitation and that Sue Ellen does not want her to come. So it's the back way through that. Okay. So that is the Betrayal. Ass Man is a great one because he gets the vanity plates. What were the other two? What was the other one in that group?
It was Soup Nazi, the Betrayal.
Okay, that one's great.
Ass Man.
Yeah, that's a great one too. Yeah, Soup Nazi. Okay, number one seeds. Do you feel like the number one seeds are going to roll here?
It's tough to say because I don't really know Seinfeld all that well.
I think this could flip on its head, right? There's a lot that could change based on I got into it with some people about my musical taste earlier, but I think Seinfeld is the same way. And I've gotten the hot takes from people that are straight up like, "Oh yeah, I don't like Seinfeld. It's overrated." And I think when it's a show that big, can you really say it's overrated? You might not like it. Right, it's the same thing. Office, Parks and Rec. I mean, that's a whole nother debate for another day too. But when the show is that big, it's like Dave Matthews, man. I don't like Dave Matthews, man. I don't think they're overrated. He's got his own channel on Sirius. He's obviously powerful enough to do that. Seinfeld and Friends are two of probably the richest TV shows in history for the money that they have made in reruns and syndication.
I'll die on the hill that Friends is overrated, though.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can't call it overrated.
I just did.
You might say you don't like it. But with the power that it has, it can't be overrated. Yeah. It's too big. Yeah. It is way too big. My wife loves Friends. So I've not seen all of Friends, but I've it's always on in the background, especially when you're home with babies, like early, in maternity leave and stuff. She'd have that on a lot. So through osmosis, I would watch a lot of Friends. Not like I sat down and watched it, but I know what happens. Yeah, we'll get it. Did you see Juan Thornhill's tweet yesterday?
No.
So do you know the theory that we were talking about with the colors of the Super Bowl logo? And
yeah.
So Juan tweeted, he goes, "I see some orange in that thing, so maybe we got a chance." Why do these logos suck so bad?
You don't like them?
No. I mean, I know Ken tweeted about this as well. Like going back to the old school logos. Let's go. Why do they keep doing the Roman numerals? Why can't we just call this Super Bowl 59? The next one coming up is 59. L-I-X. Licks. L is 50. X is 10. The Roman numeral ahead of it is -1. So that's why we are at Super Bowl 59. We're just at 58. Why do they got to do that?
I kind of like it.
I don't like it. I don't. I think it's kind of stupid. But they're so into that history. They're so built on that. I guess there's no point. They can't go back. They can't go back at all. And it's even as big as the NFL is to put out crappy logos. It's something we do here in this town. I'm trying to dance around this Cavs thing, man, because I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it. I don't because it's.
Can we get a hint?
No, I can tell you later. I'll tell you off the air, but I don't want to say anything on because it'd be pretty easy to show where I got it from, and I don't want to foul that guy up.
Fair enough.
Or woman up. You never know where. I guess you never know where I got it from.
Fair enough.
I'm excited though. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a change, I think, for all of us, and it's gonna be. It's the future. It's where we're going. So we got to see. It's coming up at noon. It'll be on Channel 19, which will be great. Yeah, and then the Cavs are in the All-Star game this weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun. Got to place our wagers for that. We got to get some bets going for the All-Star game going this weekend. 3-point contest, got to take Donovan to win.
Yeah.
The game itself, I got to look at the rosters. NBA roster right now. NBA All-Star rosters. Okay, 2024 All-Star. So the East, Giannis and Giannis, Tyrese Halliburton, Dame Lillard, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, Scotty Barnes, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, and Trae Young. The West starters, LeBron, Luka, Durant, Shai, Jokic, Booker, Steph, AD, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Karl Anthony Towns. The West is going to win.
Yeah,
Mark that down. The West is going to smoke the East. I think that's what's going to happen. Now, are these guys giving max effort all the time? Not necessarily. It's the All-Star game. But mark that down for me. Do we have that on Tipico yet? I should have checked. Tipico code Fontana 100. Download the, or not download the app. I'm opening the app. You should download the app and use the code Fontana 100. Deposit bet $25. Get $100 in bonus bets. Face ID. We're in. To NBA. Scroll over. Futures. No, that's the conference. Games. I got it already. You ready? The West is favored by 2.5.
Feels about right.
Think that? You like it?
Yeah. The West is certainly a better lineup.
I'll put $10 on it. West minus 2.5. I'll dive that. It's already up on Tipico. I love it. They got some boot. Nah, they don't have anything yet. They just got that over-under, dude. The over-under is 365 points.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm going to take the under. That's 150 only gets you to 300.
I know.
I got to take the under. I'm going to put $10 on that, too. Should I parlay those? The West minus 2 and the under? Should I do that?
What does it get you to?
Hang on. To parlay both of the... Shoot, I'm off the NBA right now. Hang on. NBA. Under 2.5, or West minus 2.5 and the under... Boost that. They can't parlay them because they combo together. That's why. Maybe we'll make that our boost for the weekend. Because we'll have to do an NBA boost for this weekend coming up. So that'll be fun. All right, great stuff there, everybody. Really appreciate you joining us this morning. We're back tomorrow. More to go. Vote at Matt Fontana Show. Vote at Matt Fontana Show. All of our bracket will be up there. The Seinfeld, direct all your anger towards Ryan. Wait for this Cavs announcement at noon. And we got a lot coming up as well. So appreciate everybody joining us. City Connect uniforms for the Guardians this year. 9 teams will get Nike City Connect uniforms. Us, the Lions, the Tigers, the Dodgers, Twins, Mets, Phillies, Cardinals, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. Everybody's upset because we just do a really bad job making uniforms and logos in this town.
Yeah, we have a history of
We're
that.
not really good. Not really good. But that's where it is, so congratulations on it. Good stuff. We'll join everybody tomorrow, same time. Big play. Don't forget, coming up tonight, we've got Enter the Jungle, James Rapine, all Bengals talk tonight. Catch that show on Bally's. Special edition of The Return tonight with Josh and Maria Cribbs. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. That's it, right, for tonight?
Yeah, no.
Because we had Booby last night.
Yeah.
You had Bobby Carpenter, joined by Josh Perry, former Ohio State linebacker. They were up on Monday. Come get some with Blake and Greg. And you had Jensen Lewis on the Big Play Cleveland show last night. So that's where we're lined up. And we're back tomorrow, 9 to 11, same time, right here on Big Play. Again, drop us a follow on Twitter, at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on YouTube. We're up on Twitch. We're up on Instagram. We're at all the places that you need us. Appreciate the support. And we'll talk to you on a Wednesday edition. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.